Yo, hello everybody. This is technically gonna be the first devlog because when I did this one last week, it was completely fucked up. Tried to edit it, it kept crashing in Vegas. I don't know what went wrong with it. I uploaded it completely forgetting my microphone recording is on a separate audio track. YouTube doesn't support multiple audio tracks, so there was no voiceover in the game, so it was just a video of this with nothing. So that was wonderful. Good time. So technically this is going to be our first devlog. We're going to call this devlog 1.5, alright? That sounds like a good idea. Help me. Help me, please. Alrighty, so I'll go over quickly what the first devlog was about, and then I have actually managed to do the things that I said I was going to do in the last devlog, even though you don't know anything about it. So this is my little shop genre game, work in progress, obviously. At the moment, we've just got this small area. We've got blue walls, we've got grey floors, and the little red things are just like blocked tiles for pathfinding, which I'll show off in a minute. So, first thing I've done is I have added a free roaming camera with a nice little smoothing built into it. So I had to code this myself because what I've actually done is have the camera follow this little green reticle that's hovering around. Now, why I've done that is because rather than control the camera directly, in order to get pixel perfect scaling, I've created a resolution manager that will automatically scale the game to your monitor size. And the problem with that is if I allow you to control the camera directly with the WASD, it goes outside the room bounds. In addition, it doesn't have a smoothing effect. Like, there's no smoothing on the camera. It's like trying to code the camera to move like that. It's not worth the effort. So what I've actually done is I've just had the camera follow an object, which is what it was designed to do in the first place. So I've added smoothing to this little green reticle. So what it does, it accelerates and then reaches top speed, and then when you let go of the buttons it deaccelerates. Pretty simple. It's also got room locking, so it physically can't leave the room. There's a simple bit of code. It's just like if it's outside the room bounds, its position in XY space is now whatever it's supposed to be. So if it's at the edge here, this is the X direction, so this is 0. So if it tries to go to a value below 0, it goes to 0. Same with Y. Like I said, you can keep going all the way out this way and then you can't see the room anymore, so it's kind of pointless. But you can see when you try and go down anymore, it just won't go. So that's that done. That's pretty straightforward. What else we got? We got the floors, we got walls. So if I press this button, my debug button, this is the current state of the pathfinding grid. So I'm adding, in my last iteration of this game, which I made last year, I was allowing you to control a character and it had collisions built into it. This time I'm deciding no character movements, like you don't physically control the camera, hence why you control the camera instead. I'm using grid-based movement, which is built into Game Maker, and this is basically the navigation grid. Green squares are accessible, red ones are not. Pretty simple. At the moment I've got this little dude here. If I click on a valid floor tile, he'll go make his way over there. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's a wiggling. He's walking all over the place. Yay. I have added depth rendering to him, so that's all sorted on that. So for example, I've added it to the walls as well. The floors don't have it because you always want to be appear over the floors, but the walls have it. So if he's behind a wall, he's gonna be invisible, which will be handy because I can have NPC characters, you know, the customers, spawn behind the wall and then they can just walk through the door. Nice and easy, you don't see any spawning coming from them. Rightio, so that's pretty much it. The other things that I did do in this last week that I said I wanted to do was add a build mode and a paint mode. So in case you have seen it up here, we've got two buttons. We've got the paint button, Now at the moment, all of this does is change the floor tiles. It will be able to change the walls. I need to build a little bit of a graphical interface for that. Actually, I'm noticing a bit of an issue. Oh, no, I know why, because that's outside the map. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not supposed to be outside the map. I'll probably have to put a lock on it so that it can't actually go outside. Interesting that it does that though. But anyway, so what you can do is you can basically paint the floor. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. So yeah, so you'll have different time types. Blah, 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 blah. Use your words. Get the words right. So you can basically paint your floor how you like. So you can have like little nice wooden sections in between concrete sections. Yeah, fuck around with it, all the fun stuff. At the moment I've only got the two, so you got this blue and black checker pattern, and if you right click it changes it back to the grey, and then you just click and drag and paint. Yes, I figured out how to do click and drag function. I was pretty happy with that. At the moment it only changes floor tiles, like I said, so anything that physically says floor is what you can paint on, but like I said, I'm going to have a graphical interface where you can change walls, where you can change the floors, so on and so forth. The other function I have is the build function. So at the moment all this does is place a table down. The tables don't do anything yet, but the reason why I've added this, let me just paste a few tables around, is because I have changed it. So now if I press the F10 button, you can see we've got new red squares everywhere. So for obvious reasons, our little dude cannot walk through a table. You bloody well hope not. Otherwise he's got superpowers. So basically what this is doing is that it's updating the grid and marking these tiles, because it's laid out in a 64 by 64 grid pattern. So basically it's just updating the grid so that it's telling our characters, don't walk in through the tables please, this is not cool. But that's pretty much it for that. You may notice that I've got a little message popping up on the left hand side when I put a mouse over my two buttons. Reason for this was because I've implemented a code. Now this was important because there are two main layers in GameMaker. You've got your game layer and you've got your GUI layer. Now the issue is that they're rendered separately, but they exist in the same space. So if I click on this button, normally what would have happened if you click, it places a table, right? If I go up here and click to turn it off, it would still place a table because it's interacting with the layer underneath the GUI layer, the GUI layer. So by adding a simple bit of code, actually I might show you guys it. Hold on. Let me find that code. I'm really proud of it. It's like my jam, It's like my jam. Okay, yeah, here it is. Alright, where's our reset alarm? I know I've got it on somewhere. Hold on, bear with me. GUI manager, there we go. Alright. So it's a simple code. So if basically every time I have an instance where it's interacting with the game, if I right click and if the mouse is not in the GUI, we can do this. But if the mouse is in the GUI layer, then it will not function. If I go to my paint button, so it's a simple bit of code. If the mouse is within our button's coordinates, the mouse in GUI global command is true. And then it tells the GUI manager to check again in 5 frames. So it sets an alarm, which is this code. In 5 frames, it'll set it back to false. But because it's 5 frames and we run this code every frame, every time the mouse is in that bounds, it sets it to true. And then resets the timer. So basically, it keeps resetting it back to 5 frames every time the mouse is interacting, or is hovering over a GUI element. So this is to stop that interaction with HUD and game elements crossing over. Bit of code, I'm particularly proud of that one. It's simple, but it works. And it's stop stuff from fucking up later. Alright, anyway, so that's the gist of the game right now. What am I going to work on next? This is a good question. I think what I plan to do for this next week, for the devlog, to have done for the devlog next week, is I am going to have the paint system have a little inventory, not inventory, a GUI window pop up so we can choose between walls and floors, so we can paint various elements of our game. I might also start implementing the inventory, so actually make it so that you can put stuff on tables. Maybe I'm just going to create a few placeholder items. Like I said, I don't want to get bogged down with graphics design right now. It's not my plan yet. I want to get core functions of the game down pat before I start mucking around with that sort of stuff. But yeah, so but that's pretty much it. So my goals for the next week are to allow you to paint walls. You can switch between painting floors, painting walls, and an inventory system with a few basic items, and you can put them on tables. That's pretty much all it's going to be right now. Oh, what have I done? I completely fucked that up. Alright. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think. If you got any ideas or suggestions, put them in the comments below. Otherwise, I will send you another update next week. Alright? Catch you later.